and welcome to the Coliseum in St. Paul. The Section 4AA Hockey Championship is on the line. There's a look at Mark Chevalier, the starting goalie for the top seed Anoka Tornadoes, as they take on the number 3 seed Champlin Park Rebels, and Tim Ledeen in the nets for Champlin Park. There's Tim. Good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox, along with Armstrong hockey coach Bruce Johnson. Anoka will be in white tonight as the high seed. They start John Coe centering John Hennis and Ryan Forbes. Paul Bender and Justin Reinholtz on defense for the Tornadoes. And we're underway. Champlin Park's first line out, Joe Olson between Mike Dugan and Micah Digatano, with Matt Semling and Travis Rippey on the points. Rebels moving it out now. Digatano, cross-ice pass is intercepted and dumped to the line. Here comes Hennis carrying it in up the middle. Hennis couldn't get a shot away. 3 defenders all around him. Bruce, not a surprise to see Anoka here. Maybe a bit of a surprise to see the Rebels here. And only their 3rd year as a school, they had quite a win the other night.
That was a great win for their program. And I know talking to their staff after our game last Saturday, that was their first win ever in tournament play, and they were thrilled about that. And this just gives them one more step towards that possible state tournament berth.
Adding to their excitement, of course, is the fact that it's Anoka they're playing. These teams share a rink. They're in the same district. The majority of these kids, had Champlin Park not opened, would have gone to Anoka. They played in a lot of the same youth programs. Nobody they'd rather be facing in the section final, and nobody they'd rather beat to advance to their first state tournament.
No, yeah, and of course Champlin comes into the game as the underdog tonight. A lot of the fans that are here impartially, of course, would like to see the underdog win. But it's going to take a real effort, because the number 1 seed Anoka is just playing excellent hockey right now, Jay.
They've scored 21 goals in their first 2 games, allowing just 1 in the 4AA tournament. Champlin Park, meanwhile, has had 2 tougher games. We'll see if that takes any more out of them. Paul Bender dumping it back toward the point. Sawicki trying to carry it by him, and then dumped in by John Goodrich. And that's a delayed offside here against Champlin Park. And since it comes in on Chevalier, the puck play is whistled down. The draw comes outside the zone. Champlin Park, 15 wins, 9 defeats on the season. Anoka comes in, as we said, the top seed. They are 16-6-2, and Twin Cities Suburban West runner-up on the season. John Peterson facing off against Joe Olson for Champlin Park. Bill Barancott dumping it for center. Picked off. Here's Dugan carrying it in. Dugan was bumped and tripped up. Face-off will come outside the zone, and offside call against Champlin Park. Bruce, the other night, late, as the game went on especially, Champlin went with mainly 2 lines down the stretch against Blaine. Looks like, at least so far, they're doing the same here tonight.
Well, they really do depend on their first 2 lines to do a majority of their scoring. And in terms of the question that you asked early on about whether or not the 2 games will take something out of them, a championship game like this, the kids will go on adrenaline, and I don't think that'll be a factor. The factor will be whether or not they have the skills to play with Anoka.
Blake gets it ahead for Peterson, dumps it on into the zone. Here comes Mike Braun, a tough angle shot. Ledeen the save. The rebound popped free for a second and then cleared out. Joe Blake, very solid defenseman for the Tornadoes, dumps it in deep. 1.5 into the game and no score. Digatano dumps it back to center. Justin Reinholtz. Pass deflected, but gets to Dan Dennett anyway. Dennett off the stick now of Jared Reinholtz as Anoka brings their 3rd line out. That's Jared Reinholtz between Froyland and Dennett, and they've been very effective scoring so far here in the playoffs. Comes free out front, another try at it. Ledeen got the stick on it. Justin Reinholtz back out. Paul Bender didn't get much of it, but the man out front was Jake Froyland, and he almost had a rebound or tip attempt there for the Tornadoes.
You're absolutely right, Jay. Their young line with the 2 sophomores centered by freshman Reinholtz has been a very, very effective line in the tournament so far this past week.
Froyland put in a couple of goals against Osseo, and Reinholtz had a hat trick against Cooper.
Yes.
Carried out now by Corey Bazell as Champlin brings their 3rd line out here. Bazell between Clone and Stevens. Clone dumps it into the zone. Justin Reinholtz, that is, up with it for Anoka. Anoka won both regular season meetings, 5-4 and 3-1. All-time series 5-2 in favor of Anoka. Rebels dump it out. Blake dumps it right back in. Matt Semling up with the puck. Both teams changing on the play as Semling carries it out of the zone. Coe up with the loose puck. Coe just missing Hennis, or actually got a stick on it. Hennis going in deep.
We see a real contrast. Oh,
there's a goal for John Coe, and Anoka's on the scoreboard.
Leading scorer, John Coe, where he's most effective, out in that slot area with the puck. One times it really doesn't give Ledeen much of a chance. I was just about to say, Jay, that what we see is a real contrast in styles here early on in the game. We saw Champlin Park very little in the way of a forecheck, making sure that they had men picked up, coming back, trying to play a tough defensive game, and Anoka putting 3, 4, and sometimes 5 men deep into the Champlin Park zone, getting the offense going.
There's another look at the quick snapshot by Coe. Forbes will get the lone assist on the goal at 2:46. Now keep in mind, Champlin Park, not exactly a stranger to falling behind in this tournament. They were down 2-0, a minute 2 into their semifinal game against Blaine. Here comes the speedster, Eric Curtis. Curtis to the front, and they score!
Joe Olson made that play, Jay. Split the Anoka defense, drove to the net, left the rebound there, and the rebound was picked up for the goal. Great individual effort by Olson.
Another look as Curtis carries it in deep. Rebound popped in. Let's see, I believe it's Sawicki following up. Yes, Chuck Sawicki gets the goal, and Curtis.
It was Olson that made the play, though.
No, Curtis carried it in there deep, I think. Number 7.
Oh yeah. Great play.
Chance the other way, but wrist shot wide by Mike Braun. So 3:24 the time of the goal. Chuck Sawicki from Curtis and Goodrich. Sawicki's 4th of the season, and we are even up at a goal apiece. So look into the Anoka bench. Taking the swig of water is John Barancott, the Tornadoes head coach. First year as the head coach at Anoka, certainly not his first year coaching hockey over the years, and he was the coach of Anoka A. Bantams last season. Took over for Greg Rodgen and has done a nice job here with this Tornadoes team. Reinhold dumping it in deep. Travis Rippey back to play it for Champlin Park. Takes a hit, gets it to the corner.
And I believe, Jay, that was Champlin Park's first shot on goal also.
Here's a drive by Braun. The puck went up in the air. They tried to bat it down and couldn't, and Braun from about 10 feet away wound up as hard as he could, but right into Tim Ledeen.
One thing that our viewers should know, and that is that Ledeen is certainly one of the top goalies in the area and possibly in the state. Having talked to a number of the pro scouts over the last few weeks, his name is one that's mentioned quite regularly.
Here comes Sibley in deep now with the puck. Ron Sibley trying to get it out front for Bazell, but Chevalier broke it up. Tornadoes try and come out their right side. Oh, and right through the middle, Jared Reinholtz, and then he slips down. Now Justin Reinholtz banks it through center ice. Finvik up with it. His pass deflected, but Clone will get it anyway. Bazell dumps it in deep. 10-10 to play in the first. Our score is 1-1. The 4AA championship on the line here tonight. Jake Froyland to drive. Skate save by Ledeen. Froyland gets the puck again. Blake chopping it off the boards. It'll come out of the zone. Now Bill Barancott. Nice pass to Froyland. Goodrich ties him up though from behind. Sawicki carrying up the left wing. Blake moving straight up the middle. Shot out front, he scores! John Coe again. Ladine got a piece of it, but not quite enough, and it's 2-1 Anoka.
Coe is so dangerous in that slot area. His shot is just so quick. The goaltender doesn't have time to get set. No inclination as to where the puck might be shot, because he just doesn't keep it on his stick long enough, Jay, for the goalie to make those reads. Excellent, excellent goal score. 21st goal of the season for Coe.
And now the puck brought in offside. Here's another look at Coe. You want your big guns, your key players to come through in the important times, and John Coe certainly doing that here tonight.
Well, he has all season for Anoka. He has really been a stalwart in terms of scoring for the Tornadoes all year, and tournament play is just an extension of the great season that he's had all year.
I want to apologize to Chuck Sawicki. I thought it didn't sound right when I said 4th goal of the year. Actually, number 12 on the year for Chuck Sawicki.
I was a little surprised at that also.
He's had a couple of overtime winners this season, games in the Twin Cities Suburban. So it is number 12 on the year for Sawicki. Blake fighting off a check. Rickley tips it in deep into the corner. Jokic after it for Champlin Park. Peterson bumps with him. Now Micah Digatano up with the loose puck. Flips it high in the air for Mike Dugan. Dugan looking for Olsen at center ice. He's lined up and bumped by Rickley. Olsen just
hand pass,
throws it over to Digatano. That'll be, as you said, a hand pass. Pretty clear call, I'd say.
That's right. Acceptable in your own zone. In your own zone, you can hand pass the puck and no whistle, but the other two zones of the rink, as soon as you make the hand pass, play is whistled down.
I think a good play by Champlin Park there. They knew it was going to be a hand pass, but you don't want to sit and wait and have an Anoka player jump in and take it from you.
Also a good way to change lines, which they did right there.
Rippey carrying the puck. Bumped off it right at the blue line. Now he turns and dumps it back in deep. 2-1 Anoka, our score. Played about 6 minutes of hockey. Sibley pushes it out front, but no Rebels can get to it. Here comes Dan Dennett, steaming up the right wing. Dennett plays it around the defenseman, looking for someone out front. Oh, and Jared Reinholtz was tied up. Bender off the stick of Reinholtz, and now Stevens up with it for the Rebels. Looking for Sibley way across the rink. Sibley missed Bazell. Froylan carrying it in front. He took a big chop from Rippey. No penalty.
No call. Certainly could have been a slash on that. Officials chose to ignore it.
Icing call here against Champlin Park. 7:43 remaining in the first period. Jay Wilcox and Bruce Johnson, the Armstrong hockey coach, with you on Cable 12 Sports in cooperation with Meredith Cable's KABL. Here's another look at the setup. Reinholtz, whoops,
right through his legs.
And then they look for the deflection off the second opportunity. Back here to live action. Digatano plays it off the boards and out. Coe trying to dig it free. Now John Coe will retreat and play it in his own zone. Now to Hennis. Hennis looking for Forbes, broken up by Digatano. Semling misses everyone with that backhand off the board. And all the way down the ice for icing call against the Rebels here. And you can see again, Bruce, that the more whistles, probably the better for Champlin Park. They do not want to get into a shootout with the Tornadoes.
That's exactly what I was about to add, that Champlin Park will take the whistles. We're going to see them dump the puck an awful lot. Of course, they'll try to get it across the center red line if they can to keep the play moving, but they're perfectly willing also, as you said, to take the ice, slow things down, get reorganized, and not let Anoka get into their skating game. That appears would be a mistake. I mean, what we've seen, 21 goals in the last two games, Champlin Park really has to work to slow the game down to their advantage.
Coe and Sawicki facing off. Dump past Joe Blake at the blue line. Sawicki knocked it away and then centered it, but nobody home. Coe zigzags around Sawicki. Coe into the zone. trying to get it to Hennis. Now Blake keeps it in. Joe Blake stepping right out front. Blake trying to get it again. It rolls off his stick. Centering pass. Now it's Forbes up with it. Forbes, a great move. Then Sawicki dumps it. Pagel pushes it out to center. Curtis almost took away that point-to-point pass.
In terms of style of play, Jay, we want to note how much more aggressive the Anoka defensemen are getting into the offensive side of the game. We'll see Champlin Park defensemen play mainly defense.
Sawicki carries it in a drive. Almost a break chance there. Justin Reinholtz has to be given some credit there for the Tornadoes breaking up, which could have been a breakaway if he wasn't alert. Now Bender kicks it free, takes a hit, and it frees up the puck. Rebels drive it right back in. Digitano. Chevalier setting it up for Justin Reinholtz in behind. Justin Reinholtz now carrying it up, looking for Reichel. He can't get it to him, and Braun will have to circle back out of the zone. Here comes Digitano for the Rebels. Olsen gives it back to Digitano, goes down, gets back up. All three Rebel players come together. Now here's Anoka the other way. Brandon Reichel tees it up. Pad save. Oh, still loose. Braun a shot. Just missed going up high over Ledeen. Blake broken up by Dugan, but kept in. Joe Blake up with it again. Slap shot blasted wide. Here's Bierenkot at the other point. He'll push it in deep. Rickerson trying to work it around or Rickley rather. Now 5 minutes to go in the first. 2-1 hockey game. John Coe has tallied twice for Anoka. Chuck Sawicki for Champlin Park. The winner moves on to the state AA tournament. Champlin Park looking for their first appearance. Anoka looking for their third ever trip to state. The last time was 1990. Danette fights off Jokic's check. Dumped along the dasher. Dugan knocks it down. Anoka will send it right back in. Steve Jokic up with the loose puck for Champlin Park. Rebel defensemen not real patient in looking for any breakout passes. They are looking to dump the puck out in most cases.
That's in large part due to the skill levels here, Jay. That they're getting forechecked so quickly by Anoka. Anoka's quickness is forcing them just to get rid of the puck.
Coe steps into the circle, back out to the point. Justin Reinholtz shot blocked. Curtis and Bender go after it, and Sibley taps it out to center.
Great move by Coe between his legs, puck control.
Sibley doesn't know where the puck is. He's going off on a change. Pushed in deep. Now Hennis up with it for the Tornadoes. Ryan Forbes, looking for Coe. Trying for the hat trick in the first period. Now Hennis keeps it in again. Anoka really controlling the play here as the period's worn on. Here comes Sawicki. Chuck Sawicki, a blast, and Chevalier glove hand stop. Got a good look at it. Sawicki really let one go from not a real great angle, but put it in a good spot.
Blaine is going to have to try and get a little bit more control, some penetration of the zone to set themselves up as they did with the first goal. Pretty tough to score on a veteran goaltender like Chevalier from outside the dots.
Curtis, shot blocked by Forbes after Sawicki won the draw. Ben Pagel up with it, and he'll dump it in. It's not like Anoka's not excited to be here, but the feeling you can tell is very special for Champlin Park. They were so fired up, not only the players and coaches, but the fans the other night after their win. Here's Dugan out front. Dugan the shot, he scores!
Mike Dugan, I think he found the 5-hole on Chevalier. Chevalier started to move across the net. As the goaltender moves, he's forced to open his legs, and that's the hole that Dugan found. I was just going to say, Jay, I think that Champlin Park would be happy to go into the period with a 1-goal deficit, but I think they'll be ecstatic if they can maintain this 2-2 tie going into the period.
Another look at the setup out front. Yep, right between the 5-hole. He caught Chevalier still moving. He didn't close the pads. Really left a big gap there, as you see on the replay. Number 22 on the year for Dugan.
That was a great feed by Sawicki also. Put it right into his forehand, gave him the great opportunity.
Braun and Semling one-on-one back the other way, and Ledeen will cover it up. Bruce, I think it's obviously important that Champlin Park take advantage of the opportunities they're given, and they have so far. They're not likely to get anywhere near as many scoring chances as the Tornadoes, but converting on them puts them right where they need to be.
Exactly right. And the other thing is that it may force Anoka to change their style of play a little bit, get their defensemen back playing defense, not holding the offensive blue line quite as tight, and give them a few more opportunities. So this is just what Champlin Park needs to stay into the game.
You're right. Their defensemen have up to this point played kind of like they're not real worried about anybody getting behind them or creating a 2-on-1 or anything.
That's exactly right. We can see them up to the tops of the offensive circles a good share of the time in that offensive zone.
Rippey played the puck with a high stick and then goes and gets it himself. So a face-off coming up as he reached up high over his head to knock it down. Rippey has had a very good section tournament so far. 7 goals, 8 assists on the season for Rippey. Jared Reinholtz will face off here against Sawicki. Rippey up with the loose puck. Well, these teams last year met in the quarterfinal round, and that was quite a thriller. 8-7 in overtime for Anoka. Here's Pagel. Almost got around Justin Reinholtz, but couldn't keep the puck. Chevalier knocks it to the corner. Curtis steals it. Out front for Pagel. A chance, they score! Sawicki!
Number 11, Sawicki. Hanging around that crease area in front of the net. That's where he's most effective. Rebound came out and he made no mistake. Well, now maybe it's Anoka that would have been satisfied for a 2-2 period-ending situation.
I agree with you. I thought the Rebels were probably going to be content to go, not content, but satisfied to go in down 1. Well, they have changed the complexion of this one completely. Good save on Pagel, but he gave up a bit of a rebound. And Sawicki has his 2nd of the night and 13th of the year. Pagel and Curtis will get the assist on Sawicki's goal at 13:35, making it a 3-2 hockey game for the Rebels. Olsen coming in, misses Dugan in behind the cage. Hennis up with the loose puck for the Tornadoes. Forbes sends it on in. Ledeen will hang on as Coe was battling Jokic for position out front. There you see just 37 seconds to go in the first period, and Champlin Park looking to pull off a big upset. Not a lot of people would have really even given them a chance to be in this game, let alone come out with a victory over Anoka.
Well, there's a lot of hockey left to be played, Jay, but just to the fact that Champlin Park has stuck to their game plan and played so well in this first period is a real credit to Dave Natero and the rest of his staff and his kids. Great game in this first period.
Sawicki and Coe on the face-off. Hammered out to center ice. Berencott lost it. Race for the puck. Blake gets there first. Boy, Curtis, very fast. The one, perhaps not the only one, but one of the players that can keep up with Anoka. Coe centers it for Forbes. Bodies everywhere, and the whistle sounds. I think Coe a little bit too unselfish there. He had a pretty good angle to shoot.
I thought so myself. And again, the way he can shoot the puck I'd encourage him to shoot every opportunity that he got.
Trying to set up his buddy Ryan Forbes, and instead he was all tied up, and the puck and Forbes and the defenseman all wound up in Tim Ledine's crease, and that forced the whistle to sound. 18 seconds to go in the period. Champlin Park trying to hold a 1-goal lead heading into the break. Rippey will hammer it around the wall. Joe Blake gets there. And it stays up on the dasher. Hennis knocked it down, but then he was bumped off the puck. John Goodrich, who scored the game winner against Blaine in the semis. And there would have been icing, but instead it'll be the end of the first period. And what a period it was for Champlin Park as they spot Anoka an early goal, but come back to take a 3-2 lead. A couple of goals for Sawicki. Dugan also getting on the board, countering 2 goals by John Coe. After 1, our score is Champlin Park 3, Anoka 2.
No matter where you live, all of us ask questions about the place we call home. Is it better to buy or rent? When is the best time for remodeling? And what are home loans really about? Sometimes housing problems can seem a bit overwhelming, and that's why there's Homeworks, a weekly feature of Cable 12 News. Every Tuesday, Homeworks goes right to the housing experts, giving you the most accurate information about your home. If it concerns where you live, you'll see it on Homeworks, every Tuesday during Cable 12 News.
And here we go in period number 2, and Mike Dugan takes the first shot of the period but misfires for Champlin Park. 3-2 Rebels as we head into the second period on Cable 12 Sports. In the first period, John Coe started the scoring with an assist from Forbes for Anoka at 2:46. Chuck Sawicki then from Curtis and Goodrich at 3:24, made it 1-1. Coe again from Hennis and Blake at 5:38. Then 2 straight for Champlin late in the period. Dugan from Sawicki at 12:21. Sawicki from Pagel and Curtis at 13:35. Bruce, there were stretches where Anoka kind of dominated the play, but obviously for Champlin Park, you have to be maybe ecstatic, may not be, maybe too strong a word, but happy with the first period. Here's Forbes, a shot, and he scores again.
Champlin didn't have a back checker take the Anoka man all the way to the net. Forbes came right through the slot area uncovered. And that's certainly not the way Blaine wanted to start the period. They need to keep things close, keep it tight checking. And that's what Jack and his staff are talking to the kids about right now. Follow your check all the way back. Don't let people go from the hash marks in.
And especially not this guy. You see nobody near Forbes.
No one near him.
Justin Reinholtz will get the lone assist on Forbes' goal at 36 seconds of the second period, and just like that, we're tied up at 3 for Forbes, number 20 on the season. Paul Finvick a shot, and Chevalier a little trouble with that one. He has not had one of his better nights so far this evening.
This is a hard game for the Anoka goal.
That'll be our first penalty of the night. John Peterson split between the defense and was hauled down.
I was going to say, Jay, that this is a hard night for the Anoka goaltender. He won't see many shots, but many of the shots that he will see will be high-quality opportunities. And that's real tough. Lots of times it's easier for a goalie to face quite a few shots and get a nice rhythm into the game as opposed to 1 or 2 shots every 5-10 minutes.
Rippey will go off for a hook. Time of the penalty is 1:22 of the second period. First power play for either team here tonight. And Anoka's power play has been very solid. Here's a shot. Forbes tucks in the rebound. Blake with the drive from the point, and Ledeen couldn't glove it. He got a piece of it, but didn't know where it was, and Forbes had an easy little tap into the net.
Those are the kind of plays that you expect Tim Ledeen to make. He needs to hang on to that puck, and I'm sure nobody knows it better than Tim right at this moment.
Champlin Park absolutely. Here's another look. This is a play that Ledeen makes more often than not. He didn't know where it was. He thought he had it, and Forbes, once again, nobody there to cover up against Forbes.
Now, from our vantage point, also, it looked like he had a pretty good look at that puck coming from the center point area.
Blake will get the lone assist on the power play goal at 1:34 by Ryan Forbes, his second straight, and number 21 on the season for Mr. Forbes. He won last year's game between these two in the playoffs with an overtime breakaway goal, a pass from behind the Anoka net, a bank pass off the boards that Forbes took at center ice and went in alone and beat Ledeen. Now they're over questioning something here.
I'm not sure what the discussion is all about. If it's a matter of time on the clock. Officials are looking at the clock, so we can assume there's some question. We know the score is right.
4-3 Tornadoes. Probably a good break here for Champlin Park. They are back on their heels a little bit here to start the second period and need to regroup just a bit.
And that's too bad, because I thought in the first few moments of the period it was Anoka that was off its game a little bit. You remember they took the early icing call. They hadn't had an ice, I don't think, the whole first period. Were able to control the puck pretty much at will, and came out maybe questioning themselves just a bit to start the period, but certainly the two quick goals probably have changed that situation again in their favor.
Referee over talking to both benches to let them keep them apprised of what the delay is all about here. And they're putting some time back on the clock. Now Justin Reinholz carries it in, shot blocked. Still loose in the slot. Braun trying to center it, couldn't get it done. And the Rebels dump it out. Here's Bender back in his own zone. Now Justin Reinholz. Pass was off a skate and into the corner, so no icing call. Goodrich tied up. Goodrich digs it free. And then they fan on it. Braun trying to get it out front for Brandon Rankley. Braun was all tied up as he went for the slapper. Anoka really bottling the Rebels up here in their zone. Braun trying to get a centering pass. Sawicki lost his stick in that collision. Reinholz cutting in, and he bounces one in on Ledeen. Justin Reinholz knifing in from the point, called for the puck, got it, and didn't get all on that shot. It was not a real easy play, though, just because it bounced.
No, and the other thing is that the puck probably squirted out there, and the officials gave the benefit of the call to Tim Lundeen and Champlin Park. It could have gone as a loose puck, and Anoka would have had another opportunity here, as we'll see on the replay. Puck is loose right there.
And Reinholz was there to tuck it in, but by that point the whistle had clearly gone and nobody else was really moving on the play, so I guess you can't assume that he would have gotten a goal there, but you're right, Ledeen probably said thank you to the referee on that play. Clone facing off with Froyland. Now here's a quick backhand shot, and Ledeen forced to hang on here. 12:22 to go in the middle period. Anoka with two quick ones here early in the second has regained the lead at 4-3.
And really, that's what we've come to expect of Anoka, that explosive offense that they've shown all through this tournament. They just seem to score goals in bunches. And once they get going, very, very difficult to stop.
Froyland tied up, digs the puck free. A lot of the play has been in Champlin Park's end of the rink here in the early minutes of the second period. Blake pushes it back in deeper. Now the Rebels are able to just dump it out. Joe Blake back to play it. Barancott looking across for Froyland right on his stick. Froyland takes a hit. Clone digs it free. Now Steve Jokic up with it for Champlin Park. And not for long. Donette digs it free for Anoka.
You really have to be impressed, Jay, with the skills that Anoka shows here. That last regroup play, Varencott to Froyland, just stick-to-stick precision.
Here's Sibley taking the pass. He's dumped. Bender coming back the other way for the Tornadoes. Bender around the defenseman. Ledeen poke checks him. Hennis and Forbes are both out front. Hennis sends it back to the point. That shot off a skate taken there out deep by Coe. Now the Rebels poke it out. Sibley gets it over. Here's Olsen's shot. Chevalier kicks that aside without much problem. Here's John Hennis back the other way. Now to Forbes. Forbes ridden out of the play.
Nice job. And that's the strength of Champlin Park's defensemen. They're very good defensively.
Dugan blocked the shot but didn't know where the puck was. Otherwise he would have had a chance to bring it out with a head of steam out of his own zone. Ryan Forbes carrying it through center. Offside was Hennis. And Forbes takes a shot on Ledeen after the play, which
sometimes can result in an unsportsmanlike.
I've seen it this year. That one, they elect not to make a call like that in an important game like this. 10-12 to play in the middle period. Rebels back on their heels here in the second. Blake will dump it in deep. Here comes Sawicki. Sawicki has Curtis with him. Oh, and off Varencott's skate.
Was looking to move the puck through Varencott's skate that time on the pass and just about pulled that play off.
Sawicki and Curtis have had very strong Section 4 AA tournaments.
Both have played just excellent hockey since last Saturday.
Pass intended for Curtis there. Peterson way back in deep. The centerman on this line for Anoka to break it up. Now it's Braun digging it off the boards. Goes for Peterson. Peterson will dump it in, and Ledeen up with the loose puck as the Tornadoes change. Jared Reinholtz keeps it in, sends it in deeper. Brandon Reichle up with it. Here's Justin Reinholtz, a drive. Whoa!
Great save, great save.
Ledeen got his stick on it at the last instant.
Exactly right. That puck came through traffic. You could see that Tim didn't pick it up until it was headed to that upper right-hand corner, and great quickness on his part.
Normally, when a shot gets in that tight, you might get it with the glove hand, but not. It takes a lot of coordination to get it with the stick at that point.
It certainly does.
9:09 to go as we face off in the Champlin Park end. That'll bounce free. Rippey up with it now for Finvik, and the back pass taken by Froyland. Rippey knocked it away from him. Justin Reinholtz hustles back for Anoka. Jeremy Stevens on him. And Clone took it away.
That's one of the few turnovers that Anoka's defensemen have made all night. One of the things that you just can't help but admire is the way that Anoka's defensemen can control play, especially in their own end of the rink.
Bender to the net. Now Jared Reinholtz.
Great breakout. 1-2-3 passing. They're out and penetrating the Champlin Park zone.
Stevens pushes it in, and he was dumped on the play, or will we have an icing? Yeah, it's going to be an icing. I guess Stevens didn't get a piece of it, and he takes a hit for his troubles.
Another look, the big hit.
Ouch. Clean hit, though, I guess, on, by...
At least in the opinion of the officials.
Yeah, not everyone agreed. Here's Hennis in behind the net. He'll go back point with it. Varencott wrists it into the corner. I think he was looking for Forbes more than anything there, cutting alongside the net. Hennis. Bill Varencott dumps it in deeper again. Rickerson digs it free, but taken by Forbes. Oh, and Forbes had it slide off his stick as he looked for an opening. Oh, what a move. Forbes now
Another
the backhand pass. Blake, pad save, they score on the rebound. John Coe.
Hat trick for Coe, third of the night.
Relentless pressure by Anoka pays off as Coe scores his third of the game, but really Forbes made that play.
Yeah, there were at least 3 moves there that were big-time moves by Forbes. The little spin move to finish off the play and chip the puck down deep, where again was sent towards the net, and John Coe finds himself uncovered, puts the puck in.
5-3 Tornadoes. There's a pad save, but the rebound pushed in. Well, they're calling the assist Hennis and Forbes, but I think Blake should be the one to get it. He took the shot from the point that was stopped. So here comes Hennis. Out front, and that one high over the top by Peterson.
Anoka has really opened it up again. They're skating now just like we saw against both Cooper and Blaine earlier in the week, Jay.
Osseo, rather.
Yeah, Osseo, excuse me.
Penalty coming up against the Rebels, a high stick. Will put Anoka back on the power play. They're 1 for 1 with the man advantage.
And the last time they scored, what was it, 13 seconds into the power play?
Curtis will go for the high sticking minor. 7:54, the time of the minor penalty against Curtis. 12 seconds in last time.
12 seconds, excuse me.
Dumped all the way down by the Rebels. Dugan in deep, trying to tie up Justin Reinholtz. Forbes cutting back at center, now to Coe. Coe right down the middle and blasted wide. Hennis alongside the net. Coe stopped by Ledeen. Then the puck came free again, but the whistle had clearly blown.
That time the whistle had clearly blown. I don't think Ledeen likes that when they shoot the puck after the whistle either. I saw him talking to the official that time, looking for a little cooperation from the officials to stop that sort of thing.
Yeah, and there isn't a goalie around that likes that. I suspect that Anoka could be, or maybe should be, given a warning. If it happens again, probably could be called. There's a shot missed wide. Rebound is in. John Hennis.
That number 18 on the year for Hennis. That first line has accounted for the vast majority of Anoka's goals this year, and again tonight they've been their go-to line.
They have all 6 goals for the Tornadoes here tonight. 3 by Coe, 2 by Forbes, and now 1 by John Hennis. A power play goal makes it 6-3. Wasn't Champlin Park ahead not too long ago? Boy, has that changed in a hurry.
Yeah, again, once Anoka gets on a roll, they're very, very difficult to stop. We've seen that in their play all week.
Justin Reinholtz and Blake get the assists on the goal.
Wise use of Champlin Park's timeout here. They really can't afford to let this thing get away with another goal in this period. Talk things over, get things shored up here, get back to the style that carried them through that first period, which was a close checking game, keeping forward high in the defensive zone so that they were coming back with no odd man rushes against them, tight man-to-man defense in their own end of the rink, and then play for the breaks. And they were able to do that in the first period for all 3 of their goals. So far this period, I think they've only had 2 opportunities on those breaks, and both shots have been wide by Champlin Park. They're going to have to muster a lot more offense to get back into the game.
And they are not a very high-scoring club, so not a team that typically comes from behind especially well, although they trailed Blaine by 2 after 2 periods in the semifinals. But you're right, they need to turn it around right now, and a good timeout, as you said, because it's close to getting away from them at this point here, about midway through the second period.
Matter of fact, I would suspect that they need to get one back here before the end of the period, so they can go in looking at a 2-down situation. I think they could feel good about that, but 3 or 4 goals will be a real difficult climb in that third period.
Jared Reinholtz carrying it into the zone. Nobody steps up to take him. Rebound pushed just wide by Froyland. Jake Froyland up with it again, doubled up in behind the net, still knocked it free. Sawicki tackles Froyland, and that one bounces all the way through.
I think maybe Chuck got away with one there.
I agree.
Lots of occasions that one's going to be called for a check from behind or a rough.
Curtis over for Pagel. Pagel rubbed out by Justin Reinholtz. Here comes Jared Reinholtz back the other way. Trying to get wide, couldn't do it on Goodrich.
3-on-1.
Goodrich to Sawicki. Cross, here's Curtis, hit the post, they score on the rebound. John Goodrich.
That'll keep things exciting, Jay.
Absolutely. Once again, you talked about earlier about Anoka. Sometimes you can become so offensive-minded that you forget about getting back.
They got caught on the 3-on-1, and Champlin Park was able to make the good play with the rebound opportunity. Nice initial save by Chevalier, but nobody there to clean house after the puck was left on the doorstep.
Goodrich tallying number 5 on the year. Curtis and Sawicki should get assists on this one at 9:32.
Sawicki's had just a great game tonight. I believe that's his 4th point on the night, Jay. Is it not?
That's correct. 2 goals, 2 assists.
He's had a hand in all 4 of Champlin Park's goals to this point of the game.
So the Rebels are at 6-4 deficit, and a penalty coming up against that young man, I believe John Hennis, for boarding. No, it'll be Coe that goes off. Coe will go for boarding.
That's an even better exchange for Champlin Park because he's so dangerous on the penalty kill. Give him a little bit of room on the penalty kill, and he'll take the puck coast to coast and make it an offensive play.
Well, the Rebels getting exactly what they need, getting to within 2, and then also they get a power play chance here. Oh, and Forbes nearly took that one away. Does come up with the puck in the corner, and now Semling back to gain it for Champlin Park. Matt Semling. Semling carrying it to the corner as he ties up with Blake. Dugan comes in to get it. Dugan now out to Olsen at the point. Joe Olsen shot, knocked down, look out, here comes Forbes. Forbes, no goal.
Hit the post. The right goal post saved Ledeen that time. The puck squirted through his legs, looked like it was headed for the net, but somehow caught just a piece of that post and stayed out. The official was right on top of the play and saw it clearly.
The very inside of the post. This one's right along the line. Wow.
I would say, Jay, that about 75% of the puck was over the line when it hit the goal post.
Yeah, I was ready to call it a goal. From my spot, I thought it was in. Oh.
5-hole. And Ledeen covers up. Wow. End-to-end action here.
I think the Rebels actually tried to trip Forbes before he caught up to that puck, but couldn't quite get to him. They got a piece of him, but that was it.
The officials now, what are they talking about now? Are they talking about whether or not it ought to be a penalty? It certainly couldn't go as a penalty shot because no one was tripped. The goal light didn't go on. They are talking to the goal judge, however. And the goal judge is shaking his head, no, it didn't cross the line, and I believe that's the correct call.
Blake and Dugan, the captains, are over there to be kept informed on the situation. Another look. See, right on that vantage point, it looks like it may have disappeared. Now we can't really see.
Yeah, we don't have we have the camera angle though is such that we can't tell whether the whole puck did cross the goal line. And from here, looking at it with the naked eye, my impression was that it did not entirely cross the goal line.
John Baroncott discussing it with the referees right now. I think at this point, very unlikely that you'd see it change.
No, once they conferred with the goal judge, and he was very emphatic, shaking his head no. It would be very unusual for the officials to overrule a goal judge, unless they clearly saw the puck go in, which we didn't from here.
So the Rebels dodge one there. Forbes nearly got on the board shorthanded. Champlin Park still on the power play for another minute 15 seconds. We'll see if from this angle you can tell a little better. Let's just say it was extremely close to going in.
I'm glad we didn't have to make a call, Jay.
Absolutely. Your first impression was no, mine was yes, so we're even split on our vote a little bit here as Rippey carries it in. Back to Seth Rickerson at the point, and here's Forbes again, this time a clean breakaway. And Ledeen stops him. Back out to Baroncott at the point. Drive blasted wide. Boy, Champlin Park's power play has been the Ryan Forbes shorthanded show.
Anoka's just so skilled that even on the power play, Champlin Park is going to have to think defensively, play for the break.
Curtis had his shot blocked as he seemed to have a pretty good opportunity in front. Only 5 seconds to go now in the power play for Champlin. Blake intercepts it, now Goodrich gets it back. John Goodrich, a shot deflected off a skate and out of play. Anoka has killed off the minor penalty to John Coe and very nearly on 2 different occasions got a goal of their own. Ryan Forbes both times. And obviously we don't know yet what the outcome of the game is going to be, but Anoka, if this game becomes a tie game or something like that, is going to be thinking back to that one that they almost got in period number 2.
Well, if you're Champlin Park, maybe you're thinking about declining the next penalty, Jay. I know that in my career there have been several occasions when I'd wish that were available. Sometimes the power play just doesn't seem to be an advantage. And it certainly wasn't the last 2 minutes of the game.
Back at 5-on-5 now, and Olson picks up the loose puck for Champlin Park. Joe Olson.
Nice move at the blue line to get the puck out.
Digitano dumps it in deep here. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in the second period. The Section 4AA Hockey Championship on the line.
Closed his hand on the puck.
And they'll bring it outside the zone here. Champlin Park, even though they're the third seed, it could be qualified as kind of a Cinderella story here. Only their third year as a high school. And picked up their first ever playoff win in the quarterfinals against Bruce's Armstrong team, and then came back and shocked Blaine with a strong third period to win 6-4 over the Bengals. And trailing Anoka, though, 6-4 here late in period number 2. Jared Reinholtz and Sawicki face off. Here's Jared Reinholtz up with the loose puck. And Jokic took him down. It'll be a holding penalty.
Anoka 2 for 2 on the power play tonight, Jay. Certainly not the situation the Rebels would like to see going into the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds of this period.
So Jokic will sit down. No penalties in the first period, but now we've had 3 against the Rebels and 1 against Anoka here in the second. No surprise, the Coe line is out on the power play. John Coe up with it. Shot was blocked. Here's Hennis. Blake and Reinholtz on the points. Justin Reinholtz, that is. Blake trying to cut to the front, knocked away and backhanded out of the zone. That pass missed Hennis completely. They weren't on the same page at all, and it's dumped in.
One of the few miscues that Anoka's defensemen have made again this evening. I just have to say how impressed I am with their play.
Forbes carrying it in deep. Forbes trying to get it to Blake. That one knocked away. Reinholtz keeps it in over for Joe Blake. Forbes looking for an opening. Nobody out front at all for Anoka.
A lot of patience on the part of Anoka.
Sawicki blocks Blake's shot and then knocked out into the air and dumped down by Sawicki. Again, the hand pass legal in that situation. Rebels fans wanted a penalty as Sawicki went down.
Yeah, wanted a trip call.
Blake a rocket and Ledeen saves it.
Again, just a great save by Ledeen. Quick glove hand.
47 seconds left in the period. 29 seconds left in the minor penalty to Champlin Park. Steve Jokic, still 6-4 Anoka. The winner meets the Section 6 champ, either Minnetonka or Eden Prairie, in the state AA quarters on Thursday at 7:05.
Edina or Eden Prairie?
Edina and Eden Prairie. Cross-ice pass, and Jared Reinholtz missing the short side. Olsen dumps it out. Dugan in deep. Bothers Bender. Jokic is out of the box. Rebels have killed it off. Now Dugan up with it. Cutting out front here as you see the time winding down in the period and knocked away by Froyland. Dugan holding on to it a long time there.
Great piece of stick work by Mike Dugan here at the end of the period.
Second period comes to an end. Anoka erupts for 4 straight goals to start the period. Rebels have life with Goodrich's goal. After 2, it's 6-4 Tornadoes.
Where can you turn for information about the future of your neighborhood? What can bring decisions from City Hall directly into your home? Northwest Community Television's Channel 37. Devoted entirely to keeping you informed about your city government. See the leaders of your community. Watch the meetings of your city council. Stay up to date on the decisions that affect you. The place you find exclusive coverage of local government is on Northwest Community Television's Channel 37.
Six to 4 in favor of Anoka as we go to period number 3, as the team's about to take the ice for the third and possibly final period, although overtime is certainly not out of the question. And what better way to decide a section championship than if we were to have overtime. In that second period, as I said, 4 goals for the Tornadoes. Forbes twice, Coe, and then Hennis, before John Goodrich answering for Champlin Park at the 9:32 mark. A very important goal in this one. There's Tim Ledeen's fan club in behind the net. Holy moly, we love our goalie, and he's going to have to come up big as we look back to highlights from period number 2. Justin Reinholtz carrying the puck. Look for Forbes out front. Forbes stopped the first time all alone, tucks in the rebound. And that was just 36 seconds in to period number 2.
A very auspicious start last period for the Rebels. And I'm sure they talked about not letting that happen again at the start of this period. They really have to be tight defensively, keep things close.
Here's the rebound goal by Forbes on the power play as Ledeen didn't come up with all of it and tucked it in. And then Blake's drive was stopped and Coe tucks in the rebound. That's the third Anoka goal of 4. And then it's Hennis tucking in the rebound off the end board. And that gave Anoka a 6-3 edge at that point. But then John Goodrich tallying on a rebound goal for Champlin Park. First stop by Chevalier Goodrich, only one there in front. And that's where we stand at 6-4 as we go back to live action here in period number 3.
And already Anoka's had one good opportunity in the first few seconds of this period.
Tonight's broadcast presented along with KABL of Meredith Cable, so I'd like to thank them for providing us with the pictures for the semis and final round. Ryan Forbes nearly had another shot at it there for Anoka. Now Digitano's pass, intercepted. John Coe carries it in. Coe a blast and a blocker save by Ledeen. Hennis back out top to Bender. Bender completely fans on it. Here come the Rebels. Sawicki, or Goodrich with Sawicki, and a blast just wide.
Yes!
Micah Digitano tucks it in, and it's a 1-goal hockey game.
The Anoka turnover, not what we've come to expect of Anoka's defenseman, but Champlin Park was right there.
Just when you start to think the Rebels were going to be out of it midway through that second period, they come back and prove otherwise, and it's now a 1-goal hockey game on Micah Digitano's goal. Dugan takes the blast. It's knocked down, but not completely by Blake, and Digitano there alongside the net. Curtis slips down. Digitano from Sawicki and Dugan.
And Sawicki continues to impress tonight, Jay. His 5th point of the evening.
Can't get much better than that.
No, certainly the offensive star for the Rebels to this point in time.
Rippey carrying it in. Rippey blasted by Justin Reinholtz. Rebels come out ready to play here in period number 3, and they have cut it to a 1-goal deficit now. Champlin Park icing the puck with 12:55 remaining.
And from the perspective of Champlin Park, they just have to remain patient. Don't try to force the play offensively. Keep things close, and make no mistakes defensively that would give Anoka a break.
Quick shot off of Ledeen's glove by Jake Froyland. Hennis bumped down from behind, not hard enough to draw a penalty though. Goodrich up with it. Digitano will tap it into the zone here. Justin Reinholtz back to play for the Tornadoes. And a dangerous pass, but he got it to Jared Reinholtz. Now a 2-on-1. Froyland to Dannett. Dannett shoots. Ledeen the save.
Just couldn't get that one up in the air. If you would have gotten that puck up, it would have been past Ledeen, and Anoka once again would have their 2-goal lead.
Ledeen chose to slide across and cover the bottom of the net all the way. And Dannett obliged by putting it right into him. And then again, Ledeen perhaps a little fortunate to get a whistle when he did, because he was way out of the net. And the puck wound up being popped into the corner.
And he was in an area of the rink where he can't cover the puck, is the other thing, Jay. behind the goal line extended, he has to play the puck rather than cover it. Otherwise, it would have been a delay of game penalty on the goalie.
Sawicki up with it. Coe comes back to help now to Berenkot. Berenkot taken away, and Sawicki. Another big play by Chuck Sawicki, but here come the Tornadoes. 2-on-2, Coe and Hennis. Oh, a great shot by Coe.
And a great save. Wonderful save, 2-on-1.
Curtis. Poke check by Bender. Wow, what a hockey game. Again, the Rebels game against Blaine in the semis was just a fantastic high school hockey game, and so is this one. The 4AA title on the line from the Coliseum in St. Paul. Here's Coe up with the puck, has Forbes with him. And poke checked by Rippey. Boy, the tempo is picked up, but unlike earlier in the game, it hasn't seemed to favor Anoka as much. The Rebels are playing well.
They are. They're getting out of their zone much easier. They're breaking the Anoka forecheck, moving the puck a little bit quicker, creating opportunities for themselves.
10:59 remaining in period number 3 as John Berenkot directs his troops on the Anoka bench. You made an interesting point while we were off air between periods that actually here's a shot and a stick save. Actually, the Anoka coaches haven't been to the state tournament. Champlin Park's coaches have as coaches at Anoka.
That's right. Jack Peterson was the head coach of Anoka back in the mid-'80s, and Dave Natero was his closest assistant. And I believe they had 2 state tournament teams during their coaching reign.
I think it was just one actually in '85.
Okay.
And 90, Greg Rogenin had taken over by that point. Here's a shot and a glove save by Chevalier. Dugan in behind, picks it up. Rebels getting stronger here late in the game. Or not really, but late into the third period at least.
I think what they've managed to do, Jay, is kind of change the pressure. The pressure now is on Anoka. Anoka seems to be feeling the pressure a little bit more than what Champlin Park does now. Anoka's just off their game a bit, and Champlin Park's come on a little bit stronger.
Curtis, and it's an offside play.
Momentum. Funny the way it changes so quickly in this game.
Yeah, if you look at the end of the first period, the Rebels had come back to take a 3-2 lead. You said, wow, they're in good shape. Then Anoka puts 4 goals on the board in the first 8 minutes of the second. All of a sudden you're thinking, boy, I hope we don't see a blowout here. It was 6-3 at that point. Rebels have certainly answered the call late in this game.
Yes, they have, and a lot of that is to the credit of Tim Ledeen. He's made a couple spectacular plays that without Anoka could be in the same situation they were on Saturday and again on Tuesday night, just have broken this game open.
Sawicki's line out for the Rebels, and Reinholtz leading the forward line here for Anoka, as the Rebels seem to have kind of tightened up to 2 lines again, as we saw in the third period against Blaine. Here's Curtis on the move. Bender poke checks him. Paul Bender back to play it for Anoka. Giveaway, and Chevalier sticks that into the corner. Sawicki up with it. Oh, for Curtis. Now here come the Tornadoes. Froyland cutting to the middle. Rickerson knocked it from him. Froyland gets it back. Rickerson blocks it again. Sawicki dumps to center. And they flip it in and go for a change. Finvik pushes it in behind. Mike Dugan, blind pass, intercepted by Blake. Oh, and a deflection.
Through the crease.
Oh, they call it icing anyway.
I believe that one was through the crease.
Looked like it, yep.
If we see the replay, I think we'll see that that shouldn't have been an icing call.
Draw coming up to the right of Tim Ledeen. 8:42 to go in the third. 6-5 Anoka. 4AA title game. Puck pops free Forbes taps it into the corner. Berencott pushes it alongside, and Tim Ledeen electing to cover it up.
Good play, slow the play down. If you're the underdog, you want to slow the play down, take the momentum away from Anoka in their skating game. That's certainly one of the ways to do that. Cover the puck on every occasion.
DeGaetano pushes it out of the zone. Has to be an interesting feeling, not just for the players, and also we talked about the Rebels coaches having been at Anoka. There's another big save, but also for some of the parents and maybe older brothers that played for Anoka. Has to be a strange feeling to possibly be rooting against the Tornadoes.
I think you're right, Jay.
Big hit at center, flattens Forbes. Micah DeGaetano took him down. Forbes trying to beat Semling, a great move, and then he slips. Goodrich coming back the other way. Dugan for Curtis, broken up, then Goodrich's shot was knocked down. Goodrich backhands it in off of Coe. Bender will bring it out of the zone, and Anoka dumps as they go for a line change. Long pass, Justin Reinholz picks it off. Sawicki chops it back to the Anoka line. Knocked away from Braun. Here comes Curtis, and poke check nicely. Bender has done that about 3 times here in the last couple of minutes of play. Bender looking for Braun. Ledeen way out of his cage. Big gamble there.
He's one of the more active high school goalies you'll ever see. I mean, very few high school goalies can handle the stick and skate the way he can to make those kind of plays.
Shot high over the top by Braun, and it rolls all the way out to center. Froyland has Jared Reinholz out front, looks for him, oh, and Ledeen robs him.
Miraculous save. I don't know how that puck didn't cross the goal line.
And it wasn't just the first opportunity that was dangerous. It came free out front.
Wow.
Someone picks up the paper tomorrow, they say, well, Anoka got 6 on him. He might not have played that well, but look at some of the stops he's had to make.
Yeah, incredible. And this was one of the incredible ones right here.
And then got back to cover it up before Donnett could get there. Look at that.
Sprawling. Stick save, covers the puck up.
Froyland pushes it all the way through the crease. Luckily for the Rebels, the whistle had already gone because I think they were responsible for knocking the net off.
I think they were too, and actually that's not a bad play, Jay, because it does give you the whistle. Although you don't want to make it look intentional.
Berencott falls, but still got it away to Froyland, and his pass, real dangerous. Anoka's breakout doesn't look quite as exceptional as it did earlier in the game, that's for sure. Oh, and that one dumped right through the crease, and Dugan was waiting for an opportunity to tap it home.
No, Anoka's feeling a little bit of the pressure right now. You can tell by just those kind of signs that you were talking about. The breakout pass isn't quite as crisp. A few turnovers in their own end.
Wow, Bender hopped off the bench and then hopped back on. Here's a chance for Coe. Ledeen knocks it away. And then the net is knocked off. Well, Bruce, should it have been a too many men the way when Bender hopped on and then back off as the puck was kind of in the skates of the players along the bench?
That becomes the judgment call by the official. On an accidental touch of the puck, they normally won't call that. And I believe that's what happened on that situation. That it wasn't an intentional play of the puck, so we got no call there.
Tornadoes win the draw. Hennis brought it outside the line, so the Tornadoes have to clear the zone. Rickerson up with the loose puck. Centering pass, Coe took it away. Now Sawicki intercepts that. Out front for Curtis.
Sawicki's the last guy on Champlin Park you want handling the puck in your slot. He's been hotter than a pistol tonight.
It almost looked like Chevalier didn't pick that one up real quickly as he reacted somewhat late. It wasn't moving very quick by that time, but came right into his crease.
And again, I mentioned this earlier, Chevalier's in a much tougher situation, I think, than Ledeen, because he's not seeing the puck on a regular basis like Ledeen is, and it's really tough sometimes for goalie to get their rhythm.
Degatano dumps it in deep. Bender back to play for the Tornadoes. Here's Semling as a man out front. Oh, and a great play.
Yes,
Scored!
tie hockey game.
Matt Semling's first pass was intercepted, and then he pops it in. Semling got the tying goal the other night as well.
Is this excitement or what, Jay? Wow. And looking at it from the standpoint of a fan, it can't get much more fun than this to see an underdog playing the way Champlin Park is.
Watch it again. His first pass is blocked. Semling from a tough angle.
Chevalier went down. If he would have just stood his ground, taken the angle away, would have been an almost impossible shot. But a small goalie like he is, going down, gave Sterling the opportunity to go up high over his shoulder.
Looking at that replay, Chevalier almost looked like he ducked underneath the puck. He really gave up the top. But give credit to Semling as he found the opening. Boy, at first there was a man wide open in front, and when Semling's pass was blocked, you thought that was kind of the end of the scoring chance, but instead he pops in the rebound or the deflection. Anoka takes a timeout with 4:35 to go in the game. We are tied at 6. Three straight for Champlin Park.
I think even the referees are enjoying this. I was looking at the referees in front of us in the crease, and all three of them were smiling. Great spectator game. 12 goals scored. The game in doubt in the last 4.5 minutes of the game. This is what high school hockey is all about.
Now Anoka, can they get some momentum back, or is it all Rebels right now? Here comes Coe hustling after it. Coe cutting to the middle, and Goodrich knocked him down. Dugan has a man in the slot if he can get it out there. Oh, he can't. Tigatano was there, but Chevalier knocked it away. And it's an icing call against the Tornadoes.
You can just sense the fact that the Anoka sticks have just gotten a little bit tighter in the hands of their players. The passes aren't coming quite as smoothly and quite as effectively. And that's playing right into the hands of Champlin Park and their style of play in this game.
Sawicki wins the draw. Jokic dumps it in. Curtis pushes it down further. Oh, and the center for Curtis, off a stick and into the corner. That puck bounces by everybody. Reinholtz now gets it to Peterson. John Peterson looking for Braun. Braun, tough angle shot, and Ledeen hangs on.
And on this end of the rink, you can just see the confidence that Tim Ledeen is playing with right now. Great control of the puck, great confidence. What a great game.
There's the numbers, 6-6, 3:36 to play. And really we're, well, I guess maybe not quite yet, but I was going to say we're almost to the situation where it's almost like sudden death right now. There's still time if you fall down one maybe to come back, but boy, the next goal is very likely to be the game winner.
It certainly is.
Here comes Dugan. Looking for Digatano, but couldn't get it to him. Knocked in. The Rebels want to make sure they don't get too overly aggressive to the point where all of a sudden you see Forbes alone behind them either, though.
No, Champlin Park just has to stay with their strategy. Play defense first and play for the break.
Forbes whips it out front. Whoa, Coe looking for the deflection. Forbes jamming at it. Goodrich. Not out. Here's Blake. Deflected into the corner. Now the Rebels clear to center. Berencott right back to Hennis. This first line for Anoka has been magnificent here tonight as well as all season. Almost got another good chance there. 2.5 to play. Berencott misses Hennis with it. Dugan chipping for Sawicki, but Blake took it. Out front, here's Coe. Oh, and Levine stops him. Hammered into the Anoka zone. Berencott bumps Dugan off it.
Champlin Park's going to have to keep their shifts real short. They're playing very few players. And when you do that, you got to keep your shifts short so that you can play defense. Anoka stayed with their 3 lines all through the game. At this point, they're probably a little bit fresher than Champlin Park, but once again, the man of the hour.
Chuck Sawicki buries it after Curtis was stopped by Chevalier. 7-6 Rebels.
His 7th point of the evening. This should be an interesting minute and 43 seconds, James.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't. I really can't.
The first one went off the inside of the pipe. Watch Curtis.
And I can't believe, going back to our conversation, when that shorthanded attempt went off the inside of the pipe, your prophetic words that could come back to be a major play in this hockey game. I really thought that Anoka was still in command of the game at that time, and that it was an unlikely scenario, Jay.
Rippey didn't wait long enough and dumped it in. It'll be an ice. He was not over the red line. 1:21, and I guess at that point I felt kind of the same way, that Anoka might have lost a possible goal, but I wasn't too sure it would matter for them at that point, but no. Obviously it did.
Well, there's still a lot of time left. Anoka will have the opportunity to get their goalie pulled if they don't score here in the next 20 or 25 seconds. Neither team has a timeout yet, but in high school hockey now, Anoka is making the goalie change. In our rule book, unlike the college, the amateur, or the pro book, when we put a new goalie in, we get a 1-minute warm-up. So Anoka has elected to do that, warm up the goalie, use that as a timeout, and get things regrouped here for the last minute and 21 seconds.
Blair Johnson will come on, but that's mainly just for show. He's probably, he'll wait, and if Anoka gains control, he'll head to the bench. Johnson is a sophomore, 6 foot, 180-pounder. Now I'm guessing that Travis Rippey of the Rebels doesn't have the same stick he had the other night. It was just a situation very much like this when Blaine called for a measurement of his stick in the semis. It was found to be illegal, and that put the Rebels shorthanded with 1:41 to play. Gave Blaine a golden opportunity, but the Rebels fought it off. I'm pretty sure tonight that they're going to be extra careful that nobody is playing with an illegal stick.
The two players that have just been phenomenal tonight for Blaine, their goaltender Tim Ledeen, and certainly Chuck Sawicki, for Champlin Park. They have really been the difference in the game to this point in time. offsetting the great skating and puck handling skills of Anoka.
.121, and keep in mind Anoka has guys like Forbes and Co. on the ice.
We'll see how long Anoka leaves the goalie, and some coaches feel that you have to bring the goalie out with less than a minute because the percentages are with the attack team.
Reinholdt's shot was blocked. Ledeen made a big save right off the draw. Johnson still in the Anoka net. Rippey rings it around the boards and dumped out by Dugan. Dugan puts it on net, so no icing.
That was a lucky play. Mike should have crossed the red line. He was only 2 strides away.
Sawicki almost picked it off. Now Dugan almost did as well. Justin Reinholdt's up with it. Under a minute to go. Johnson to the bench. Ledeen makes the save and hangs on.
46 pressure-packed seconds left.
Anoka has 6 attackers out. Blair Johnson is headed to the bench.
Mike Dugan coming off the ice for the Rebels.
Coe wins it back to Blake, just wide. They jab at it alongside. Now out front, a shot was knocked down as Hennis tried to get it on net. Out front, here's Hennis. Boy, they're throwing everything at him now, and now we
man
have
in the
a call.
crease.
Yep.
And all it has to be in the crease is the stick. Oh no!
No, the
net was off
off
again. Yeah, I thought they were called for man in the crease, but
that's a big difference because the
It sure
draw
is.
stays inside the
that's
zone.
right. That's right.
27 seconds to play, and Anoka just really buzzing the net. Tim Ledeen. There's the other end of the rink. Nobody in front of the net. A very important face-off coming up right here. Olsen will face off with Coe. And Olsen got him tied up. And it pops up and out of play. Champlin Park saying it went out off Anoka. Let's see where the face-off will be. I think it'll be inside the zone.
Looks like inside the zone.
18 seconds to play. What a phenomenal hockey game.
A great hockey game. The Anoka crowd, Jay, is stunned on the other side of the rink. There are a lot of people sitting very silently at this point, just hoping that Anoka can make a play. Whereas the Champlin Park crowd is just abuzz with excitement.
They're trying to cheer while holding their breath, I think.
That's right.
And cleared out. Joe Olsen chasing Reinholdt.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Incredible story. Incredible. Who would ever have thought?
Absolutely unbelievable. Champlin Park will advance to the 1995 State AA Hockey Tournament.
The Anoka crowd is just stunned. The Anoka bench is stunned. I'm stunned. What a great evening of hockey.
Heading into the game, you thought the Rebels had a chance, but when they fell behind 6-3, even the most diehard Champlin Park faithful had to be worried. They score the only 3 goals in the third period to come from behind and win it 7-6.
Tell you an interesting story about the Champlin Park situation. They finished the season with 18 players and had a chance to bring two sophomores up to play with them. And these two sophomores missed the practice before the tournament. So Coach Antero had to replace them. And at that time he said he felt that they were going to miss a great experience. Little did they know that they would miss an opportunity like this.
Nobody happier on the ice than Dave Natero as Justin Reinhold sobs along the boards. Anoka players are just scattered all over, and you have to feel for the Tornadoes too. Dave Natero is beside himself. He is unbelievably happy at what he's just witnessed here tonight. Champlin Park will move on to the state tournament with their 16th win of the year. Bruce, if they were giving out an MVP for the 4AA tournament, you'd have to look at Chuck Sawicki and Tim Ledeen,
yeah,
among others.
But obviously the two most valuable players in this game by far.
Well, when they played that 8-7 game in the sections last year, I thought that was one of the most exciting games I've seen. This time the stakes were higher, and this one even more exciting, a 7-6 victory.
Congratulations to all Section 4 hockey teams for their competitiveness and sportsmanship. And now I would like to call on Mr. Gary Abraham, Tournament Director and Region 4AA Committee Member, to make the presentation. Would the members of the runner-up team, Anoka, please come forward as their names are called to receive your medal. Mark Chevalier. Paul Bender. Justin Reinhold. John Cole. John Bennett. Ryan Moore. Come on, you big baby. Bill Barrett-Scott. Randall Reichel. Joe Blake. John Peterson. Corey Schaffman. Steve Lichter. Kevin Anderson. Mike Strong.
A lot of class shown by Forbes as he comes over to congratulate the Rebels. They just have to be heartbroken and stunned.
Yeah, stunned is the best word to describe the situation on the Anoka side of the rink right now.
Jared Reinhold. Jake Fryland.
Anoka is going to continue to be a force in Section 4AA, however, Jay. A lot of young hockey talent out there that's going to develop, make Anoka a team to be reckoned with in the future.
Congratulations to the Anoka Tornadoes and with the captain of the runner-up team,
Anoka, second place right now at this moment doesn't feel like a whole lot for the Tornadoes.
No. Whereas on the other hand, Champlin Park, if they would have gotten the second place trophy, could have felt great about the season and their accomplishments. But as it is, the feeling has to be ecstatic on the part of Champlin Park, the players and coaches, and certainly their fans as well.
There they are, the Section 4 champs. Section 4 champion Champlin Park Rebels. I'm not sure they'll need to take the bus home. They could probably just float back to Champlin tonight as they take the 4AA title and come from behind fashion. Chuck Sawicki's goal at 13-17, the game winner. And Dave Natero holds up the trophy for the Champlin Park fans. The Rebels will move on to take on the Section 6 champion. 7-6 is your final. We'll be back to talk with some of the Rebels in a moment.
Am I overlooking itemized deductions that could save me money?
Is some of the interest I get from bonds exempt from taxes?
What can I do now so I might get a refund next year?
In these final days before April 15th, can I lower the amount I owe? Help is on the way with answers to these questions on tax tips. The Minnesota Society of CPAs and Cable 12 News bring you tax tips every Monday and Wednesday through April 15th. Don't miss this timely advice that could save you money.
Northwest Cities, the program that shows you how your community works.
It's an up-close look at what's happening in our northwest suburbs. I'm Tom Hayes, and right after Cable 12 News, we'll show you the places and faces that make up life in our northwest cities.
Northwest Cities, highlighting city services and explaining the policies behind local government. Northwest Cities, every day at 19 minutes and 49 minutes past the hour, following Cable 12 News.
Unbelievable finish to tonight's contest as Champlin Park storms back from a 6-3 deficit to take the Section 4 AA title. They'll be playing in the state tournament with Dave Notaro, the Rebels head coach, and Chuck Sawicki, along with Tim Ledeen. I guess you'd have to say the man of the hour tonight. Chuck, what's the feeling like to knock off Anoka on this one?
Unbelievable. It's the thing of my dreams, and I can't believe it.
You picked up the goal late in the game that kind of iced it, or even though they had some chances after that. Describe that play down the stretch.
Well, my wing, Eric Curtis, took the puck down. We had a 2-on-1, and he shot, and he thought he scored, so he raised his stick, but it came right off the post, right to me, right on my forehead. I couldn't do anything but put it in the net. I was pretty lucky getting that puck like that.
The way Anoka scored 4 straight on you guys in the second period had to cast a little bit of doubts along the bench. What was the thought process at that point? What did you guys talk about?
Well, we just talked about, never to give up, because we don't give up. And sure, we were down a little, but we didn't. We had the heart, and we did it. We came back, and we just gave it all we got.
As you guys talked about, or you talked about having a lot of heart, are your hearts still beating after these last 2 games?
Yeah, believe me, I can feel it thumping. I'm surprised if you can't hear it.
Heading into this section tournament, you guys certainly this year, I think, would feel more confident than you had in the last couple, obviously. But did you really deep down feel like you would be at this point going to the state tournament?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We knew that we could go, and if we played to our potential, we were going to go, and we did.
All right, we'll turn now to the Rebels head coach. And Dave, a lot of coaches, a guy like Tom Satterdahl seems to go every year, but you were as excited as any coaches I've seen. What was your feeling at the end of that game?
Well, this is 10 years to the date when Jack Peterson and I were with the Anoka program, and we knew that with these kids, the omens were there. It was fate. We were determined to get there. Teams have us down 2 goals. That doesn't mean anything to us. It's just like a Cinderella story, and it wasn't going to be stopped. We had everything going, the momentum going our way, and we had the determination, we had the will, the perseverance. There wasn't a force psychologically that was going to stop us.
You took the time out in the middle of the second period, which we, during the broadcast, thought was obviously a good time for it. What did you say to the kids at that point?
Well, we just wanted to slow things down a little bit, right? They were hot. They were scoring at will. They were just coming down, popping the puck in the net, and we said, we just got to stop this. We got to do something. We got to cool the kids down before they kind of lose control of themselves and really get down on themselves. And just stop Anoka's momentum. That's what a main thing was.
I'll ask you one of the same questions that I asked Chuck. Really, deep down, did you think this team would be at this point all the way along, all throughout the season?
Definitely. We looked at the region, and we knew that we were competitive with any team that was in the region. Elk River left. Whoever designed the region, thank you. But we knew that we could play with any team in our conference. It's good conditioning for postseason play when you go in and play week game after game after game of tough teams, and we beat teams who beat Anoka, and it was beautiful. We knew the toughest, one of the toughest steps in getting here was to get by Blaine Tuesday night, and then we knew that we'd have an emotional game with Anoka, and we did. And that's the way every game with Anoka turns out. It's, you can flip a coin, and whoever has the puck last is probably going to win.
You mentioned that you have ties to Anoka. Most of your players do. A lot of your fans, maybe brothers and sisters, went to Anoka. What does it feel like to beat them in the section final as compared to somebody else?
It didn't matter who we beat. The biggest thing about this and the biggest prize about this is the Champlin Park Rebels story. Starting 3 years ago and getting beat up by everybody, we went right to a varsity schedule, and watching these kids get pounded and pounded and getting back up and getting pounded again and
coming back next year and last year and improving our record, and this year proving that within 3 years we were forced to record. It's the story of the kids, and it's not who we played, it's the story of our kids elevating themselves to this level.
How long do you let the kids savor this one? How long before you gear it up for that state tournament, and your thoughts on your chances there?
The state tournament is the frosting on the cake. The hardest thing is getting there. From my experience before, it's just fun to play there. That's a tournament. That's 8 teams going there to have fun, and we're going there to play, of course, but this is the hardest thing, getting there.
All right, we'll ask you, Chuck, what do you expect at the state tournament, and have you thought about playing in it as you went up through the program and maybe went to the games as a young player?
Yeah, well, of course I've thought of it. It's everybody's dream that plays hockey, and I guess we got it, and when we get there, I guess we just got to play how we've been playing, you know, with our hearts, and hopefully God will help us, and we'll win every game.
All right, this is a happy bunch. Their teammates and the rest of their coaches waiting for them in the locker room. Thanks to Dave Notaro and Chuck Sawicki. Congratulations to all the Rebels as they move on to the state tournament with a 7-6 come-from-behind victory over Anoka in the Section 4AA championship. For Bruce Johnson, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from the Coliseum.